Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Suikoden 3! I'll figure out how to say that appropriately anyways. It's better you.
Genso Suikoden 3, probably.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Whatever fits my thing. Oh, I didn't change the fucking settings. Whatever. This is Lulu. I'm Hugo.
And Karaya Shizumi's here too, by the way. Sorry.
And that's Sergeant Joe.
No, he's Sergeant Pepper.
Shut the fuck up. Are you saying that just because of Lonely Hearts Club?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club has zero to do with ducks, but I don't know.
Not at all.
I was like, what? How old was I? How old were you?
Lucia appears in Suikoden 2, but under a different name. She's Lucia, I think.
No, I think she's the same name. They just spelled it differently.
They spelled it differently? Yeah. Okay.
But
Either way,
it's the same
this is the person that attacks Ryo with fire magic. So it's interesting that an enemy of the last game is now my mother. That's something to take in. But the Grasslands did get mentioned a lot in Suikoden 2, and that is where this Hugo setting takes place.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Lucia realize that, like, her...
Yeah, that Luca Blight and basically all of Highland was a really big piece of shit motherfucker.
Well, yeah, and, like, they promised her, like, a whole bunch of stuff to, like, protect the Grasslands.
No, they promised her Zexan land. That's why this shit takes place.
Right. So, this is important, obviously. Like, her backstory is... I have the hiccups, guys. I'm sorry. Her backstory is obviously important to this particular, game.
Also, if you've ever met me in real life, some of their mannerisms that the characters do in this game, I do in real life. Like, I've taken it upon myself to, like, actually do. I don't know why. I just, like, started doing it back in, like, 2004.
When did we get this game?
Middle school.
So...
Jeremy was alive. Well, Jeremy was here in Florida.
So, I mean, I was, like, 10 years old, basically. 10 or 11.
I was 14 when I finally beat it, so I don't know what that says.
I mean, like, I'm a little kid, grew up on fucking classic rock. Of course, when I see Sergeant, I'm gonna think Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club.
Okay.
But now, because I'm older and I know better, it doesn't make any difference.
And now we have control of Hugo. So what you would want to do
switch Fubar
is add Fubar under Hugo, and this will give me the mounted status. Now in this game, combat does not take place by a 6x6 grid. It still kind of does, but not really. Each character is tethered to each other. So what that means, and we'll
they're like combat partners.
Yeah, eventually when we get into combat, you'll see exactly. But basically, if I take an action with Joe, then Lulu will only do a standard attack. If I do an action with Lulu, then Sergeant Joe will only do a standard attack, unless I pick defend, in which case both characters will defend.
Right.
So when I'm mounted, we each act as one character. So I have all of Fubar's items and equipment added to my total stats, which is the reason why mounted units in this game are fucking retarded.
Yes.
Anyway,
They also look really cool.
Square brings up the menu. We only have, basic ass fucking equipment and stuff. But you'll be interesting to note that none of these, besides sandals obviously, and the food items and medicine clearly, never appeared in any other Suikoden game. These are all new equipment types. And after Suikoden 3, you'll be seeing a lot of material types. We also have the magic sword rune is back, but now it's more specific towards each character. And you'll also notice that these were not the same spells in Suikoden 1. We do not have a standard attack spell for water anymore. Instead, it's a level 2 by the same name. And now, Kindness Drops and
I'm so proud of you.
Shut up. Kindness Drops and Kindness Rain take different effects. Instead of this healing one person, it now heals the pair of the people that you're targeted to. Kindness Rain just fucking targets literally everyone, but there's AoE. And we'll get into AoE a lot later. So for now, let's just explore the village.
Okay. There's a cat.
Okay.
There's a cat there.
Okay. Triangle is to run. Somehow. I can't talk to the cat, apparently. Oh well. This is gonna take some getting used to, I'm sorry. And we get antitoxin. Which we're probably, I'll probably do that to I'll map that to Fubar because he's probably the most efficient healer in the game. At least all mounted units are. And now, new to this game, skill points.
Yeah.
It only appears in this one in 5. I don't know. And tactics a little bit. It's completely gone.
I was gonna say I remember this.
Yeah. What I want to do is we want to look at what this guy is saying up here, where it says fairly good match, natural ability, fairly good, whatever. Win match.
Try the education.
It's a different sect. So magic skills and physical skills are different classifications when you want to do. What he's saying about these, by the way, is he's saying what their aptitude is to Hugo.
Right.
So Hugo
counterattack
can actually learn
fantastic.
a perfect skill, which is repel. He needs this skill. It's a unique skill that anyone can learn, but Hugo specifically can make it go to an S-class skill. See, everything starts with E. The more skill you put into it, the stronger it becomes. So what I want to do is I want to increase repel immediately. And I wanted to increase swing. I will probably eventually get rid of counterattack because it does virtually the same thing as repel. Except,
because I was gonna say, I mean, but it looks like he's pretty good at it.
Except that with a high enough swing and repel skill, it does the same thing, exactly the same thing as counterattack.
Oh.
So you don't technically have to have it. Unfortunately, even if I wanted to, I couldn't get rid of counterattack because it doesn't have this gray bar next to it. It's a natural skill that's dedicated to Hugo. I can't get rid of either of these skills. I can get rid of swing or accuracy, which I wouldn't get rid of either, honestly, because accuracy is amazing, and I'll probably put points into it. But I probably won't level up heavy damage. I won't give these priority, basically, because these are better skills. I'm more suited to each of these skills. Same with heavy damage. It's the same level of skill, but this is easily better and this is easily worse.
Okay.
So that's all for that explanation that I'll ever fucking do. Always check to see what you're obviously I wouldn't give him swing because he's average at it and it's a lot of skill to put on. The only skill that it does not matter how crappy you are is armor protect. I would give this to literally everyone. What I'm going to do later on, definitely not now, is I'm going to give him the repel skill and the armor protect skill to make him stronger versus certain units and to buff Hugo while he's underneath him. But for now, I don't need to do any more than that. See, average accuracy means that I don't really care about him using it when he has all of these really good stuff. I think repel is, again, a really good skill to have, and he won't need any more skills than this, by the way. This is literally the gap between him and Hugo. Like, he's really strong, but unfortunately, it just doesn't matter. So I am going to spend a lot of spell points for him. Lulu doesn't really need a lot. He's really, really fast, if you want to throw that out. But it's not something that I'm going to, spend a lot of time on. And I will try to, cut out my skill growths. Instead, I'm just going to tell you, this is how I built this character. Let me go into the settings, because it's still bugging the shit out of me. Fast as fuck. And I want that to walk.
That should be a real setting.
There. So now I can just normally run, because walking with triangle is aggravating. And I can explore the village normally. I agree. Cooking for someone is awesome. This guy is a scumbag, though. Fuck him. I did that. I can't talk to that cat yet. I can talk to you, however. Oh no, not you.
You're not the...
Someone gives me some stuff. Also, our horses and everyone else's horses are very different. And unlike Suikoden 2, we have to sort of we have to basically hit A to open doors to go into places. I didn't mean to do that. But everyone in the village is sort of very, very interesting. And obviously, if a character has a portrait, they're going to be rather important.
They're going to be an important character.
So it's not in this game, not necessarily means that they're Star of Destiny, just means that they're important.
Yeah. They're going to play some kind of role.
Yeah, they're going to have a role, basically. I believe there's an armor shop. Oh, and this is another very interesting character, Anne. So make sure you. I would hazard to say make sure that you fucking talk to almost everyone because it helps build the world. Specifically, they talk to Zex. They call Zexans, the people that Chris is from, or the section of area that Chris is from, Ironheads.
Right.
Which seems like a kind of derogatory term, especially the way that they're say don't trust the Ironheads.
Right.
So I talk to you, right?
And I mean that
Yeah.
kind of makes sense where the term comes from. They're decked out in metal usually, so in armor. So obviously,
the cat
Ironhead's
prevented
there.
me from moving forward for a
But
second.
you can already get a sense, kind of what this story is going to be about. Obviously, there's, especially from what we know of Lucia in Suikoden 2, Really?
Okay. Wow. Yes. Anyway, this guy is a very important character named Jimba.
I really don't.
You'll remember eventually. Apparently that's Zexan armor though, and considering that they don't wear armor, that's interesting that he has Zexan armor. Apparently this is also his brother.
They don't look anything alike.
Yeah, he's white. It's pretty much.
What the fuck?
He looks white. Come look at the tan of everyone else.
Okay, but these people stand in the sun all the time. It could very well be that little boy goes out into the sun and plays around like fuck tons more. Than
Yeah,
his
it's true.
brother does.
You're right.
But either which way, no, I'm talking about the hair color. What the fuck? Lulu's hair is red on top and black on the bottom.
And he has black.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, no, he's really weird.
How does their
Actually,
genes
that's a
work?
cultural thing because Hugo's blonde, but he dyes the tips of his
he
hair.
dyes the tips. But okay,
So Lulu decided to dye the middle of his head red.
okay, so that doesn't explain the black hair versus the blonde hair. Blonde is a recessive trait, okay? And that's his mom.
Uh-huh.
That don't make no sense.
And that's his mother.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
It's an important shit. So yeah, apparently there's a war, and we're accepting truce negotiations.
Bene des Exe.
I'm surprised you can pronounce that, honestly.
It's pretty easy. You just read it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do before we even get there. Wonderful. You want me to go, though? For real. Ah. See, it's all this political bullshit that prevents you from just kicking the shit out of people.
Yep. So Lucia is obviously basically the chief.
Yeah, she is the chief to the Grasslands.
And seriously.
There's one other character I would like to meet.
There's no fucking way in hell that Jimba's actually physically related to them.
I don't know, I could see it.
No, it's full of shit. You're full of shit. Fuck you.
She is not happy.
Karaya. And Sergeant Joe. I mean, seriously. Sergeant Pepper.
Honestly, to be fair, she was really lax about this. She was like, yeah, sure, as long as you promise to be okay. Well...
I like how it's like, why not? I'll protect you, no big deal. And then it's like, well, as in like, maybe you shouldn't go. But it's like, no, it's all good. Like, what the fuck? It's so stupid. They trick you. They think you're gonna be responsible and then you're not.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a really good advice in life and in general.
Seriously, Jimba looks as old as his mother.
Well, we'll continue exploring the village of Karaya before we go
Karaya?
next time. Karaya? Whatever.
I think it's Karaya.
Karaya? We'll say Karaya. On Let's Play Suikoden 3, this is Bandit Ryu
And Kuranoshizumi.
signing out. See you next time.